Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to be diving into a technology that's really shaking things up in the private cloud world. It's offering a whole new way forward for businesses that are, well, just tired of doing things the old way. So, let's just kick things off with a question I bet a lot of you IT leaders out there are asking yourselves. Is your on-prem cloud infrastructure really working for you, or has it just become this constant headache of complexity and ballooning costs? All right, so let's get into it. The big dilemma facing on-premise IT. For years, if you wanted to build a private cloud, you were pretty much stuck with a really tough choice. So on one hand, you've got the giants, right? Think VMware. I mean, they offer decades of reliability, which is great, but it comes at a super steep price and you're pretty much locked into their ecosystem. Then on the other hand, you have the incredible power of open source, stuff like OpenStack. The problem? Well, all that flexibility comes with a reputation for being insanely complex to set up and manage. You basically need a very, very specific kind of expert to run it. But what if you didn't have to choose? What if you could get all the power of open source, but without all that crippling complexity? Well, that's exactly where Pinaka ZTi steps in. It's designed to be the bridge between these two worlds. Okay, now look at this number, 5 gigabytes. I mean, when you're talking about enterprise-level cloud infrastructure, that seems impossibly small, right? Like, no way. Well, believe it or not, that's the entire size of the Pinaka ZTi installer, and it's capable of building a massive enterprise cloud right from a single USB drive. That ZTi in the name, it stands for Zero Touch Installation, and that means you can be up and running in minutes, literally minutes, not months. Okay, so that sounds great, but how does it actually solve those really tough OpenStack challenges we talked about? Let's dig into the details. So the first big one is the talent gap. Seriously, just finding engineers who can effectively run an OpenStack environment is a huge challenge. And that scarcity, it drives up your operational costs and, frankly, your risk. And let's say you do find the right people. The time it takes just to get them up to speed is a massive investment. The sources we've looked at show it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months just to get a new engineer fully productive on a typical OpenStack setup. That's a long time. And this is how Pinaka ZTi comes in and just completely changes the game. It simplifies the deployment so much that basically anyone can stand up a multi-node OpenStack cloud, even if they have zero prior experience. You get zero-touch provisioning, super simple management. It's a validated, secure system right out of the box. So simplicity is huge, but there's another really critical benefit here, and that's data sovereignty. I mean, in today's world, knowing and controlling where your data lives is more important than it has ever been. So, Pinaka ZTi is built to run in what are called air-gapped environments. That's just a fancy way of saying systems that are completely physically cut off from the internet for maximum security. And this leads to a really crucial advantage. You have total, absolute control. You can deploy and manage your entire cloud completely offline. No internet connection needed for operations. This is huge because it means your data stays private, compliant, and under your roof. You can even activate your license keys offline. Full control. So all of this is great, but it brings us to the big question, right? What does this all mean for your budget? Let's talk about the impact on your bottom line. The source material here doesn't mince words. It frames this shift as an escape from VMware tax. That phrasing, that word escape, really tells you everything you need to know about the financial burden a lot of companies feel from those proprietary licenses. So here's the side-by-side. The old way often means you're paying this recurring tax for every single processor or core you use. Pinaka ZTi flips that on its head. It uses a perpetual licensing model. What does that mean for you? It's a way more cost-effective way to scale up your private cloud without getting penalized every time you grow. And they've really designed the transition to be as smooth as possible. You can migrate your workloads from VMware without any major disruption. You can start small with just a single node, and then scale up to huge enterprise clusters whenever you need to. So it's totally ready to handle those really demanding applications. We're talking high-performance computing, AI, machine learning, the whole shebang. So, when you put it all together, Pinaka ZTi is making a really compelling case. It's a secure, simple solution that hits the core challenges of both the big proprietary guys and the complex open source systems head on. You get the power of OpenStack without the nightmare of complexity, and it gives you back control over your data and your budget. So, the final question is really for you. What could this new way of thinking about the private cloud actually mean for your organization?